Okay, so in this video I am making a video about how to assemble the first travel mug. So let's give you a heads up, I have SolidWorks opened up and I have nearly all the parts opened up here except for the rubber seal, but nearly all the parts are opened up down here across the bottom for the first one. So then I go to File, New, Assembly, OK. Now, I'm going to bring in the main body first. So that's already opened up here on the left-hand side. So I click Travel Mug Main Body. I bring it in and I drop it down. Next thing I'm going to go to is Insert Components. I'm going to bring in the Travel Mug. I'm going to bring in the base. Now, there's a few things here you need to check with your base, folks, before you are ready to assemble it. So right-click anywhere you like in the base, and then click this button here, Edit Part. And when you click this button, what SolidWorks will ask you to do is to save the assembly before you go any further. So when I click this button, it's asking me to save, so I click Save. And I'm going to change it, and I'm going to type in Assembly 1 Travel Mug 1. Okay? And I click Save. Save. And I click OK. Now, so there's blue writing after appearing here because I need to edit this. Click the little plus beside it. I go to the little arrow here beside the revolve. I go to Sketch. I click Edit Sketch. I click OK. Now here are the things that you will have to change in your drawing that I've done outside the video. You must make sure the top line there is 44.5. So just double click the number that's there and type in 44.5. This number here should be 22 on your drawing. Double click to 22, change it to 32. And this number here at the bottom will be 18. Double click the 18 and change it to 22. So there are the three numbers that you need to change. Once you have that done, click the button here just above the X. And then click this yellow and blue button here again. Now, so you might want to pause maybe to get that done at this point. Once that's done, we're going to put this onto the mug. Okay, so I go to Mate. I click this surface here. And I click the under surface of the mug. Click the green tick. I then click this inside circle here. And I click this outside circle here. Click the green tick. And then click the green tick on the left-hand side. Now the cork bottom is attached to the mug in the correct way. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go File. I'm going to go to Insert Components. So Assembly, Insert Components. And I'm going to bring in the lid. There's the lid. Now, we have to put the rubber seal onto this now. So I go to Insert Components. If the rubber seal is not here, go to Browse. I have to go to Browse, and I have to actually find the rubber seal because I made one video for all. So there it is. And I click Open, and that's that part there. Now, that rubber seal is clearly too small for that lid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click anywhere I like on the rubber seal, and I'm going to go to Open Part. I'm going to click OK. So the part should open. Now, if the part doesn't open, it might appear on the bottom of your screen, and you might need to click the little square for it to maximize up like this. So it might end up looking something maybe like this down at the bottom. And then you might have to try and work it out. Oh, there it is there. Click that on the screen, and it'll open up. Now, I need to change the revolve in this. So I go to the little arrow here beside the revolve, and I'm going to right-click the word Sketch there, and I'm going to click the first button, Edit Sketch. I'm going to hit the space bar. I'm going to click Normal 2. Now, there's a few measurements here that have to be applied to this before I go any further. So I go to Sketch, I go to Smart Dimension, and I tell it the angle between here and here has to be 135 degrees. So I click the green tick. And the angle between here and here also has to be 90 degrees. So I click the green tick. And the length of this line down here has to be 0.5. And I click the green tick. And the length of this line up here has to be 0.5. And I click the green tick. So then measurements are now applied. The final measurement to apply then is I click this line here, click that line there, and that angle there has to be 135. Now if this comes up, just click OK. Now, that's done. I then double click the 10. Now hopefully this will work. And I'm going to change to 36. And I click the green tick. And what has happened now is that it's moved everything over to the left-hand side, and 36 is the correct measurement that we're looking for our drawing. I click this button here just above the X, it'll update. That's what the rubber seal should look like. When that's done, just click the Save button here and click Save. Now that warning message doesn't appear, you don't need to worry about that on your SolidWorks. And I'll go down to the SolidWorks here at the bottom of my screen, and I'm looking for Assembly 1 Travel Mug 1. A message will appear, you click the yes, and that means that it's updated to the correct size. I'm going to put the rubber seal now onto the lid, so I go to Mate. I'm going to click the inside here. I'm going to click this surface in here. That'll put it in more or less into position. And then I'm just going to have to pull that down slightly. Just click that rubber seal anywhere, just pull it down a little bit. Going to click this top surface here. Going to click that top surface there. And that now has the rubber seal on the lid in the correct place. Now I'm going to put the lid into the mug. So I'm going to click this surface in here anywhere I like. I'm going to click this surface here anywhere I like, and the lid will pop in. Click the green tick. Now it's gone too far down to the mug, so it's going to catch it here, just pull it up a little bit. I'm going to say that I want this surface here to finish on this edge here. And I click the green tick. And that's the lid now in place. So I click the green tick again. Now, so at the moment now, if you look over here, if I just right click anywhere I like in this extra gray space here, and then click collapse items, we can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 parts in. All that's left for me to do now is to bring in the lid, the final part, or we'll say the slider that we made the last day in here. So I go to Insert Components, and what I'm looking for then, I might have to browse for this for mine. Yeah, so I go to Browse. I have it saved to the desktop on my screen. And it's Part 5 Travel Mug 1. And I click Open. That's this part here. So I can drop this anywhere I like. Now, we need to get this into place here. So I go to Mate. Again, I click this circle here. I click this circle on this, any of these circles on this here, the outside. That'll put it into position. And what you'll see now is if you were to catch that part and try and move it, it can rotate, just like in the real thing. So it can rotate to there, then it can be closed, or it can rotate to there, then it can be closed, whichever. Okay, and you can leave it doing that. That's absolutely fine. But the department would rather, if it doesn't rotate, that if it kind of stays in its fixed position. So I'm going to put this into its fixed position, which will be there. Okay, we're going to fix it there that it can't rotate anymore. Now to do that, we're going to use a couple of planes. So I'm going to click the little arrow here just beside Assembly 1. I'm going to go down to the last thing I brought in, click the little arrow beside that. And then from here, I'm going to select Front Plane. So I click the word Front Plane. I'm then going to go to the lid, click little arrow beside lid. So it's not the next one up, it's the one above that again. Click little arrow. Might have to click it again. And again, from that, I'm going to pick Right Plane. And that will line them up perfectly. I click the green tick. Now, next thing I'm going to do is in the lid, where I am now, I'm going to click Front Plane. Then I'm going to go up to the very top arrow here. And from it, I'm going to pick Front Plane. And that will line up the mug exactly in line like so. And I click the green tick again. And I click the green tick again. And that's it. That's your mug put together. Now, last two steps to do now is to get ready for the exploded view and the cutaway for your drawing sheets. So over here on the left-hand side, you'll see that there's a configuration manager. Click Configuration Manager. Click Default of Assembly once. On your keyboard, click Control-C, C for copy. Then push down Control-V, and that will paste in a copy of default. Slowly double-click Copy of Default to allow you to change its name, and change that to Exploded. So we'll call it Exploded View. Do Control V again, and slowly double click copy of default and call that cutaway. Now I'll explain what these are now. So default is now on. Default means that the mug is together in its defaults, just like so. Okay. I'm now going to double click exploded view to switch it on. So it's now on. That's a fast double click. It's now switched on. I then go to exploded view, which is just up here in the assembly. I come across to exploded view. And we're actually going to take this mug apart now for our drawing sheet. This is up to you to decide what way you explode it. You don't have to follow exactly what I'm doing. So I'm going to click the last part I put in. I'm going to click the Y arrow. I'm going to drag it up. I'm going to go to the left-hand side. Going to click done. Then going to click the lid. Going to click the X arrow maybe. Going to drag it to the left. Going to come over here. Going to click done. Then I'm going to click the little seal that's in there. Going to drag that right on up to the top. Going to click done. Then finally I'm going to take out the cork base. I'm going to maybe pull that out to me this way. And I'm going to click done. And then I'm going to click the green tick once I have all that done. It doesn't have to be exactly like that, but that's the way I've exploded it. You can do something similar. I then double click default and the mug will all go back together again. Now I'm going to double click cutaway. So cutaway is now on. I'm going to go back here to my feature manager design tree. And I'm going to go to the front plane. I'm going to open up a sketch. I'm going to hit the space bar. Going to click normal too. And we're going to cut this mug in such a way that we can see what's happening inside the mug. So we'll probably draw a large circle. So I'm just going to click out here. I'm going to draw a circle around like so. Again, no size on the circle. I'm going to go up here to the search bar. I'm going to click the drop down arrow. I'm going to click commands. And in the commands option, I'm going to type in cut. So this is the one. You don't want the scissors. You want the one underneath. You want cut, create, keep features and cut. So make sure you click the second option. It'll now try to cut. Click the flip button, change from blind to true all, and click the green tick. Now what you have is a view of inside the mug, which will be important for your drawing sheets later. So you can see all the different parts. You can see the rubber seal. You can see the lid. You can see all this. You can see the cork base. You can see the shaping that's going on inside the mug. So it's totally cut like so. To go back to default, just click Configuration Manager, double click Default, and the mug will go back together. Okay, so that's nearly the end. The last thing to do is to make this mug have the correct colors. Okay, and that's the final thing to do. So I'm going to show you how to do that, but not for every single part, because once you know how to do it for one part, you should be able to do it for the rest. I'm going to do it for the base down here. I'm going to right click this anywhere, and I'm going to go to open part, the very first button, and it'll bring me into the parts. Now, the material is not specified, so I'm going to right click that. I'm going to edit material. I'm going to scroll down here. And I'm going to go into, we'll say miscellaneous. So we can go into other non-metals. And now, unfortunately, there is foam, but there is no what we're looking for, which is cork. But we're going to just call it foam for the moment. Click apply and click close. Now we're going to get this looking like cork. So I'm going to right click anywhere I like in this object. I'm going to go to this beach ball, which is appearance. I'm going to click the very bottom option, all part 3. Now, up here on the left-hand side, we're going to scroll down. And what I'm going into is miscellaneous. And then I'm going to go into, no, it's not miscellaneous. Sorry about that. I think it's organic. Click the plus side organic. Yep. And in organic, we go to miscellaneous. And we're going to click sponge. Now it looks like the base of the mug. And I click the green tick on the left-hand side. And you can just scroll it over out of the way. Click the save button. Now, when you go into SolidWorks and you go back into your assembly, it will have updated, click the yes, to have the sponge base in it. Equally then, the mug part itself, you can right click, you can go to open part, material not specified, so you can right click, you can go to edit material, and down here in other non-metals, you click the little arrow beside it, there is the option for ceramic porcelain. Click apply, click closed. But it's the wrong color. We have to get that turquoise color on it. So again, I right click anywhere. I click this beach ball. I click the bottom option. And we're looking for kind of a turquoisey color, which is here. One of the options here on the left-hand side. You might even want to go a shade darker. So I'll let you pick whichever one you want, whichever one you think is closest. Once you have that, click the green tick, click the save button. And again, when you go back into your assembly, it will have updated. Click the green yes. And that's what has to happen for each of your parts. You have to right click, edit the material, and try and get the right size or right colors. That's important. Okay, so that's the end of the video. And when I'm in class, you can ask me any questions you might have if you have any trouble. But you should be able to get fairly close to getting it finished like that. Okay, thanks very much.